Still no sound.
Send us more stars so we can get our audio up and running.
Yeah, send stars for audio.
But that's why we're supposed to have that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they got it, you guys.
What do you mean they got it?
8 years later.
Okay, so I'm not really sure where I left off, but
I cannot hear us.
This is the
You
worst.
let me know when you're ready.
Oh.
Stars so we can get our audio.
Okay, now they can hear us. They can hear us now.
Okay.
Okay, we good.
All right, let's go. Sorry about that, guys.
That's
Interpretive.
awesome.
It's raw and authentic podcast day.
Yes, it is.
Maybe we're
We're
gonna
bearing
just,
our souls for you guys.
Yeah, we're just gonna maybe switch it up. Maybe this is an example of how appearing successful doesn't mean you are successful.
True.
So
We did 3 episodes with no worries. It was Hakuna Matata, and now, it's
that new
a little
moon.
bit. Yeah, it's
new
okay.
moon.
There's a little bit of glitches in every kind of thing in life, including today.
Well, Saturn is supposed to be going into retrograde, which is like an ass kicking of
I didn't
all
even
the
know Saturn
planets.
was in Gatorade today, so that's good. That's
Yeah,
good to know.
and relationships are all up, and
really?
everything is in Aries.
I
It
feel
means
like
it's
I'm
fire-
menstruating.
Menstruating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just fucking.
Our cycles are linked. We're doing what we can,
You can menstruate, I'll lactate, we'll all even ourselves
a
out.
lot of fluids.
Mix in a little tea, we're good.
That's not right.
Well, one of the things that I do want to bring back up when we were talking to ourselves on the topic of success was about your album,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Success.
Success. yeah.
G6.
G6.
G-
Like
GS.
a G6.
So I do have an album called Success. A lot of people don't realize that it's called one. And then also, yeah, I can't even. Oh yeah, Success. 6S. So Success.
Yeah.
So it's a triple entendre.
And
for
I
those of
needed
all
you
at
to
home.
explain that to me because I never got it.
A lot of people did actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, I like your G6 album. I like
Yeah.
your GS album. That right? It's how you interpret it.
Totally.
So I
Yeah.
don't blame anyone for how they interpret
Well,
it.
I don't think I had ever just actually said it out loud. Like I always saw the album, but never
Right.
saw like the
Never
6
said
and
6S.
yeah, and then I would have got it, right?
6S,
But I
yeah.
didn't get it until
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
said it.
6X. That's S.
Sex.
That's how we're gonna get the hook. Draw 'em in, people. Draw 'em in.
Damn it, I said it again. Okay, so the definition of success, what it means to us. And I was gonna go somewhere totally different with this, but I think I'm gonna bring it back home and just try to be as real about it as possible.
Yeah.
And I think success is something that is fluid. It is always changing. It's not something, it's like at one moment you can be successful and then at the next moment you are unsuccessful doing the exact same thing. And I've really learned that through being an entrepreneur and and being a homeowner and buying and purchasing and selling and losing money and taking risks and making moves and then having it totally bite me in the ass. And so I think, it's always important to have a drive to go out and get it and to constantly be motivated. That is one of my gifts. I don't know if other people actually struggle with that, but like for me, it's a bit of an obsession. So
Sure. And sometimes it's nice to just be bit in the ass. You know what I mean?
I find it. I
Like
think it's
metaphorically as well, not just physically, but like, a little.
lucky shit where it's like you get knocked down, but do you get up again? That's what defines your success, right? So
I think it's also a perception.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I think it's also a perception. It's like whatever you think you're doing is totally not what people perceive you're doing. I have that all the time.
okay.
People,
well, and I think it's based on your own perspective too, right?
No,
And
that's-
Cody as well.
then that's why success is a perception.
That's
because
exactly-
hard on myself, because I'm also super hard on myself. Like I said earlier, I'm very motivated, but also incredibly mean to myself. So I'm like, never doing enough, never doing good enough. And I can't tell you how many times when I share that with people,
They're like,
they can't believe that I would have those perceptions of myself or that negative talk of myself because I always portray myself as like really outgoing and really confident,
Right.
but they don't know.
I don't see it as that bad of a thing. I'm a little bit jaded because I think it's important to be a little bit hard on yourself.
Well, and I think that comes through.
Like I said earlier, someone just told me the other week and I was like, I just don't want people to think that I'm a bad parent and a bad mom. And they're like, I never thought I would have thought you would have those thoughts about yourself. And again, I think it's just it's the seeing the struggle and then saying the no, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm having anxiety about what people are going to think about me being a parent for making these choices, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's how you achieve success,
Right?
regardless.
And just forgetting about that for a few minutes. But when it's time to like get shit done, your anxiety is what makes you get that shit
That's true.
done.
Weird, twisted way. It's like you're here to tell me that I might not make it, and
I need the attaboys.
Yeah.
I'm an anxious disaster before I do everything, and I need someone to be like, it's okay, everything's fine, you're beautiful, it'll be fine. So, husband,
Yeah.
if you're listening,
Right? I'll remember that. I'll remember that, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll remember that.
I had a cough, and I just didn't want to cough on
You
the
can
live.
cough. We're live. We're live. Yeah, so guys, if you are watching this podcast now, please go to our YouTube channel. We will post it in the link. Subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube link, our
It's on
YouTube
your
channel.
channel first.
Teapot Podcast. We're going to episodes.
Right.
Ooh.
After 10 episodes,
It's a
then,
challenge.
then you're considered to be successful because you've fought through and you've persevered past those 10.
right.
Because a lot of people run out of and I'll
Nice.
be hosting, by the way, just because I said so.
Really 11.
I don't know. I don't know.
You can
Just
have
making
it.
shit
You
up
can
now.
have it.
Yeah, I'm hosting the 11th episode. I'm calling it
Right
now.
on.
Maybe.
Do it. So, do we feel good about success? Or do
Oh
we-
yeah, I feel.
Yeah,
I feel
keep
good
the
about
camera
that.
on all three of us guys, and then it doesn't echo. Perfect.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that you're just directing over
Yeah,
there.
I have to keep it. I want to keep our people happy, right? They're
Right.
watching
Yeah,
us.
good.
They're
Awesome.
tuned in. They're taking time out of their day to watch us. So.
So we're going to talk about a more fun subject.
Okay.
Festivals.
Yeah,
How they
festivals.
bring people together.
Yeehaw.
And it just reminded me when we did our first episode of how we met, and I just...
How do we meet, Tatiana?
We met at a music festival. We
Sure
met at
did.
the 5 Acre Shaker in Port Alberni.
Yes, yeah.
It's happening again this year.
Shout out to
Lance,
Lance.
shout out to Vic.
August 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
It's always a really good time. It has been one of my favorite music festivals, worked a few of them. But I think more than just specifically talking about individual music festivals, it's just the magic that happens at them. I didn't think that you would meet like lifelong friends at music festivals, but not only did I meet you, but I also met like my other friends, Natty and Dave, and like Nad Brand Clothing, and then Pachina Bay Music Festival, Ben Howells,
Ben,
that
yeah.
whole crew.
Shout out to
and,
Ben
like,
Howells, Pachina Bay.
Yes, he just did Salty Hearts Music
Yes, and
Festival.
Katrina.
Yes, we were just there. Yeah, Kat.
Cat.
So he just did Salty Hearts in Bamfield, and that was a pretty epic organic experience. So I kind of wanted to know what music festivals you have planned this year.
So I just want to first of all ask what your favorite
Is Pachina Bay Music Festival, and that happens at Pachina, July 19th to 21st this year, I
Shout out
believe.
Pachina Bay Music
Yeah.
Festival. So my festival experience has been this. I went to Squamish Music Fest,
Okay.
and so it's like kind of like a gift for me
Yeah.
to the festival. And then I discovered Bass Coast Music Festival.
Yes,
And Bass
yes.
Coast is my
Like the
jam.
middle.
It's my
Yeah.
jam. Because it's like 3,000-4,000 people.
Yeah.
If you say to your friend, hey, I'll see you in a couple hours, you're going to see them in a couple hours. If you say that at Shambhala, you might not see them for 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you might not see them until you guys are both
Yeah.
It's
leaving.
7 days
If
long.
you're lucky.
It's 6 days, 7 days,
yeah,
depending.
but then you get there early, and it's like
People
it's
get
a
there early.
whole
It's only
thing.
a 4-day festival, but people get there 2 days early.
You're allowed to
people,
stay
You're
late.
allowed to stay late
Sheesh.
because they don't want you
Okay,
driving
okay.
home.
Yeah.
If you're intoxicated or whatever, which is a great feature.
Yeah.
But also, it's like you could say, "Hey, man, I'll see you in a bit," and not see that person for days.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the fact that Bass Coast is one of those ones where you could be like, "I'll see you in a couple hours," and you'll actually see that person in a couple
Right.
hours, whether you want to or not, because it's a smaller festival. And then it goes all the way down to places like Pachina Bay, which
Yeah,
is
it's
like,
just like-
now become my favorite music festival
Why?
of all time. Because it's so good. It's so like
Organic.
the people that run it are amazing.
Yeah.
Bass Coast is run by all women, which makes it super amazing. You
Yes.
feel safe there. But Pachina Bay is run by these incredible people that really just care about the land that they're on, the people that are there having a fun time, and it's just so much like quality over quantity to me.
Okay,
You know what I
cool.
mean? Where it's like, all your friends are there. Like
Yeah.
Tatiana and Cody were there. Me and my whole crew were there.
I think out of all of them, that's the one I want to attend the most.
You have to come to it,
Yes,
man.
you
It's on a beach.
The beach
So
is
like the
epic.
next
It's
day,
my
you're on the
favorite
ocean.
beach in the world.
Like if you're feeling crappy, you just go dive in the ocean. And
Yeah.
oh, look, lo and behold, there's 2 stages here too.
There's also
Right.
showers.
So there's like showers, there's working toilets, there's like actual facilities. It's in a
Right, right.
campground that's
Yeah.
established, so it's not like you're just
with beautiful people.
you're not in a porta potty that's been crapped in by 40
yeah.
other people in the last 10 minutes. You know what I
Right,
mean? So it's
right.
like it's really a lot
The
more.
land is loved.
The land is incredible, you know, and it's on the island too. So
Wow.
I've talked enough. I feel like my love of festivals is so
That's
crazy.
good. It's good to hear though the love of festivals and what it does for people. And
Well, it allows you to express who you really are. You don't have to be
Yes.
fake. You don't have to like
Yes.
put on a
Right.
mask
can't-
unless you want to.
Right,
You
right.
can wear neon clothes. You can wear
Yeah.
normal
I
clothes.
can
You
wear
can
all
wear
the
no
makeup
clothes.
I want to wear.
You can
Right.
wear no clothes if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean? Like it's
Fishnets without
Yeah.
judgment.
right.
it's important to hear these positive aspects of festivals because I have a different.
Living room.
Not my living room.
Our living room's over.
Oh,
kids
growing
stuff.
up. That's what I mean. Yeah,
it
that's what I
reminds
mean.
you of like being
Yeah,
in that
and then
home
waking up
environment.
in the morning.
That's
Shouldn't
why
we
we
be
go to them.
allowed to do
That's
that?
why we
Shouldn't
go to
be
them, Ron.
allowed to do that?
That's why we go.
I
to them.
mean,
Let your hair down.
But that's the
Well,
thing
we
is,
can
Yeah.
help you let your freak flag fly.
right? Maybe Pacino will be a good.
well, that's the thing about the festivals, right? Is you go into it thinking, oh, so what you do before a festival is you get all that shit done before you got to go. It's like you get the things done that are going to hanker you while you're
Right.
there, so that when you're there, you just let go.
right,
You let go and you really just have a good time.
right.
And like even to the fact of turning your phone off, like telling your
Yes.
kids, I'll call you in a couple days, but dad's not going to be around.
Right.
And you're taken care of. You're with mom, you're with whatever, you're with whoever is taking care of you, and I know you're taken care of.
Bringing
Yeah.
all my kids.
And you have to like let go because
Yeah.
once you're there and you're really in the flow of it, you actually do let go.
Right.
And it took me a while too because I'm an overthinker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly like, oh, what do I need to get done? What haven't I done? Why don't I own a house?
Which
blah,
is
blah,
probably
blah.
why you like to go so much. Because
Yeah, by day one, you're trying to get your shit set up. You're still in that mode of like getting everything done. But by day two, you're like, I'm out here.
right.
Like
Yeah.
we're out here with the people that are also.
It's been very self.
like, you know, I feel like I look at it differently too because I feel like I've taken my kids to a lot of music festivals. So they've
Amber says Ron can't go. It'll be past his bedtime.
Yeah. Well, we need to break them of that because I've taken, you know, maybe the triggers are deeper than the adults being delinquents because my kids have seen me drink and party and stay up late, but like the love is still there to like put them to bed on time and make sure that they're okay and make sure that they're
Right.
safe and make sure that there would never be an adult accidentally walking into a bedroom and like still, you know, saying I can have fun, but you are still safe.
I think I'm
We're
the
very
balance.
imbalanced with it,
Right.
And I feel like as an active parent who hangs out with my children at festivals, and they love music festivals.
Yeah.
They live for
Right.
it. They're upset when I don't bring them, and they don't shame me if I'm having a smoke or having a drink because they do not see it as me being delinquent, and they don't
Right.
even ask for it either. They understand that it's an adult thing, and when they're ready to be an adult, they can make that choice.
And I feel like at this point in your life too, Ron, you're ready. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because your kids are all self-sufficient now. You don't have a child that you're going to be worried about if you're not there.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, oh, what's
Which is
Saul
why
doing?
I'm open to it.
What's
Yeah.
Dion doing right now?
Right,
Because
right.
Dion's doing his
And
thing.
I know we don't
Saul's
live that
doing his
kind of
thing.
life where
And
we're
we don't.
jeopardizing and risking.
No, and that's
That's
the thing
right.
is you don't go with beyond your means.
Yeah.
Like you're not out there spending thousands of dollars that you don't have.
Yeah, yeah.
You buy your ticket, you take the ride,
Yeah.
you buy your little box of beer, and you like hang out with your friends who also. That's the thing I love about festivals. It becomes a community. Oh
Yes.
shit! I forgot mustard. I got mustard.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot buns. I got buns.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't bring food, dude. I got food for you. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We all have breakfast
Right.
for
See
you.
people become really
Like you see
caring.
people become humans again.
Yeah,
And I
sweet.
really love that because there's so often in our general society where that does not happen.
Right.
People look out for themselves and their families and that's it. When you're at a festival, your family is the people
Is
around you,
everyone.
is everyone. So it's just like, man, you didn't bring food? Dude, come over here. I don't care if you're not even in my camp. Get over here, man. I heard you say you're hungry.
Those are
Yeah.
the things I look
It
for. Well, you
was the
said
one.
that too. You're like,
I told that to
PTSD
Benny
has to
too.
go
I was like,
through
this
it,
was the
right?
one.
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
sold
get
out
there.
though.
Shout out to Vance Kanye.
Already sold out?
It's already
No,
sold
no,
out.
we'll get him a ticket.
Yeah.
We'll get him a ticket. We'll find him a ticket.
Well, I need some volunteers for my hot dog cart, so hit me up.
You wanna-
If you're
Yeah, I'll
serious
do it.
about
Ron, you want to slang glizzies?
I'll slang
bro?
glizzies
Then
all
you
day.
can-
Glizzy
then you can-
slanger.
Then you can have a purpose. To
Yeah.
why you're there,
Shout out to
which
Vance
is-
Conway, Isabella, Chandra,
I'm in.
everybody in here watching. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We have an amazing viewership and fans and
Yeah.
for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. And I hope you've watched the first 3 episodes. And if you haven't, please go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there's a lot of gems. These guys, at the beginning of the podcast, you know, the intention I felt was to come and give and share. But it's interesting that whenever you sit at a table, you're also receiving. Whether you're going to sit for a meal, you're receiving. So always come with something to give. So if you go eat dinner or you go sit at a table, you know you're going to receive something. At least give thanks so that it's mutual exchange. You know.
yeah.
Just that goes hand in hand with thanking the viewership and the people who are paying attention and interested in what we're talking about. We're dropping some gems, you know, and it's nice to share and break bread with people.
Here and there. So you don't have the big experience that I think I've probably, without bragging, out festivaled a lot of people. But what is
Whoa.
your favorite thing about festivals?
Oh,
Right?
I don't know if
know.
I'm gonna name a few.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't want you to pigeonhole
No, there's
me.
not one.
Well, I really love going to them with my husband, which is probably not always a common thing. I remember when I went to Shambhala, my first Shambhala, and I didn't have Cody,
Right.
and I was furious. I was like, I can't do this without him. Like, there's
Right.
no.
It's a weird experience when you're navigating it solo.
Oh
like
my
it's
God,
it's
and-
better to have someone.
You need a crew.
Yeah, you need a crew, or you need at least someone that can help you like balance yourself.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're just gonna go off on your own and do your own thing, and then you never know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
too much
Yeah.
alone time. I didn't like it.
Well, I did Base Coast last year by myself.
Okay.
And like, even though I had a crew with me, they were off doing their own
Right,
thing, and I was
okay.
like, after a couple days, I was like, I just kind of want to go home. Like,
Yeah.
this is fun, but it's
Yeah.
not fun just traipsing around by yourself the whole
No.
time. Like, you want to have someone
Stuff
to
is
bounce
heavy.
ideas off of, or have people be like, yes, this is also dope, or this sucks, let's move
Right.
to another stage. Or like, I'm also hungry, let's go get food. Or I'm also like in need of a drink, let's go get a drink. Because it's like, it's nice to be, it's just nice to be around other human beings.
I totally get it.
And I thought about this the other day is like, you can walk past 1,000 people a day and not know who they are, but they could be totally cool people. But then you could see one person you know in another country be like, hey, how's it going? Just because you already know them. You know what I mean? But even if they're not the most person that you want to hang out with, you already have established some sort of connection with them. So you automatically
the
gravitate,
festival atmosphere and the-
gravitate towards
Right.
that. Right, so if we go to more festivals,
Then we make
more
more connections.
connections
Right.
and
Which
we
is
meet
what-
more people.
Yes.
Then we can
Your
know
village expands.
more people in different
Yes.
crowds and not feel so alone.
Yes,
Because my whole thing is not feeling alone.
like
yeah.
I'm like that too. I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like being lonely, and I have an entourage that was like my childhood trauma, was not being.
Oh, right. We talked about
By
that.
myself.
Yeah. Fair.
But I also think,
The ability to be free. I like that.
yeah, I also really like being. Yeah, is the freedom, is
Yeah.
the connection, and then the freedom of judgment, like being able to wear the makeup and the clothes that I want to wear, because sometimes, you know, when you're picking up your kids from soccer, like, you shouldn't be wearing fishnets or
I do.
could create
I don't give a fuck.
could create other
Fishnets.
problems. So it's just nice to get like a pass to do that, which is why I usually try to attend a minimum of 2 to 3 festivals a year. So
Hey, John Ross, happy birthday. Welcome
Happy
to 36.
birthday.
It's also Angela's birthday behind
happy
the camper.
birthday, Angela! I don't
Happy
know if
birthday,
anybody
Angela.
got to
We
hear
love
that.
you. Yeah, Angela's
when we were
birthday today,
muted.
guys.
We also didn't maybe hear us when we were muted when we said thank you for being able to do this on the unceded territory of the Hoopachesset and
Right.
T-Shot First
Yeah, yeah.
Nations.
See the tee shot and Hoopachesset.
It was not meant to be late, but we were struggling with their sound, and it occurred to me that might not have been said.
as well.
So
Dawn
thank
on
you,
the
thank
Rainbow,
you.
Rainbow
And
Studio.
Dawn at Rainbow Studios
Thank you, Dawn.
Productions, yes, thank you. So music is medicine
It
was
is.
the song that I wanted to end with.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like festivals is medicine for
Right.
me.
Right.
And so your song Music is medicine.
It's definitely medicine. I mean, my whole thing has always been that music is medicine because it saved my life. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's always been the medicine that kept me going. That's why I have the Red album, the Blue album. They're both different types of medicine,
Right.
depending on how you're feeling that day. And then Elixir, which is my newest album,
Right.
and that's the medicine as well. You know what I mean? It's all based on how you're feeling. So we don't always feel the same. We're not always going to be in a great mood. We're not always going to be a shitty mood. We talked about that roller coaster, right? So it's what music do you listen to when you're feeling in that vibe to bring you maybe out of that vibe, or when you're in that vibe to keep you in that vibe. You know what I mean? And so my next album, I'm not going to release it yet, but it's very much along that same vein of music being medicine.
Neat.
Yeah.
I love that part when you are Dr. Ron.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we did that on the spot, clearly, but it turned out
We
good.
did, yeah.
I like
Really?
that. Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
Did you? Good.
I do.
That's good to
I like
hear.
listen to it all the time because I think it's.
yeah.
it
We
is-
came up with the idea on the spot, and then we're like, let's just run with it. It
Yeah.
sounds good. It's a good idea.
Well, if you look on the back of those albums,
I signed the
they're
prescription.
both prescriptions.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone noticed that. The Red and the
Yeah.
Blue album are both prescriptions.
yeah. We were in
Right?
the laboratory working on the medicine, and I
Yeah.
signed the prescription off as Dr. Ron.
Dr. Ron. Yeah. So
Funny.
it's basically like the world is too much consumed with how we're supposed to feel and how we're supposed to live and how what our terms of or ideas of success are, right?
Right.
So like people are so heavily medicated by prescription drugs where your doctor says, "Here, take this." You know what I mean? You need to take this to be at your normal. Well, maybe I don't want to be fucking normal, but I also don't want to be a complete mess. You know, so for me, music brings me out of those funks where I'm like feeling like a complete mess. I've never taken no slight to anyone that has to take their meds daily. You know what I mean? I have never wanted to take something that I have to depend on to feel normal. And obviously there's wholly different situations for everyone. Like there's trauma involved, there's things that work for people and don't work for others, right? But for me, I never wanted to be dependent on something to keep me at a baseline, you know, because that's why I quit smoking weed. Like honestly, like it wasn't like Ron challenged me to stop smoking weed for 5 days and I was like, okay,
For an ounce of silver.
an ounce of silver. And so I went 7 days and I started to realize like this has become my crutch.
Right.
Like, yes, I'm not medicated on antidepressants, but this is my antidepressant because if I don't
Right.
smoke, I start to get irritable, I get grumpy, I get blah, blah, blah. So I
relying on
decided
it.
that that's no longer my crutch. It's not allowed to be. I need to figure out my own shit. And for 3 months, I had nightmares and blah, blah, and had to deal with this trauma onion that came up that we've talked about before. But sometimes you got to face it. It's that tough love, right?
Yeah.
We've got to face those things and work through them in order to become a stronger person. Because
Yeah.
if we don't, they're just going to end up consuming us, or we're going to mask them with so many things that end up being toxic for our energy, our vibration, and our body.
I just noticed your hat.
This says white rapper, yeah. And
White
the thing
Castle,
is,
White Rapper.
when we numb ourselves with those substances, we don't give off the same wavelength. We don't give off the same frequency that a vibe that attracts the tribe that we want.
Right?
Right? We need to attract the tribe that we want around us with those frequencies, vibrations, and harmonies. And when we're stifling that with weed, with meds, with
yeah.
alcohol, it kind of like cuts the
changes
edges
your
off. It
frequency,
changes
yeah.
your frequency. Now you're starting to only hang out with people that blaze.
Right.
Or you're only hanging out with people that drink. Or you're only hanging out with other people that struggle with those mental health things that you struggle
Right.
with and are taking meds like you are. And you start to find that that's now your tribe.
It's
where
funny,
like,
it goes hand in hand with festivals in a
Right?
weird sense
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
music you're bumping and jamming to, the vibe you're
Yes.
vibing to, the
Yeah.
frequency
Yes.
you're emanating, you attract people who want to dance to that music.
Yes.
So if you're emanating that frequency of like, I want to be fucking, smoke weed all the time and like blah, blah, people are going to start to crowd in and dance with you.
Yeah.
It's like, but
And
it's
now all your friends blaze.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
have friends that
it's
blaze.
actually
like,
it's kind of magical. I've been obsessed with like cymatics lately and
Yeah.
sound frequency
Yeah.
and how it forms geometrical patterns and shit like
Yeah.
that. It literally aligns your cells. It calls to your cells.
Yeah.
It aligns them in patterns and
Yeah.
shapes which draw in people, and it's like scientific level cymatics and sound and frequency. So music being medicine literally is, because it affects you on a
Well,
cellular level.
That's why festivals are so awesome.
Right,
because
right.
they take that and they harness it and then they market it.
It
and then
amplifies.
they-
It's so
and
funny because you remember what
expand on it.
her. Remember last podcast we were talking about what your. What was it about how your niche thing is like you like
to organize.
Yeah, you organize stuff and amplify
Yeah.
the experience for people. That's festivals and cymatics and amplification of like the
Okay.
flower, the geometrical
Right.
shape, amplifying it hugely.
Yes.
So
Well, her energy
everybody's
creates
vibing.
energy.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
She
Isabella-
amplifies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what a festival does
Right,
too.
right.
Because
That's
then
why
you
you
get
like
a
it.
whole bunch of those cool people.
Right.
And then you amplify all their super cool energy, and then the super cool artists,
Yeah.
and you amplify all their
Yeah.
energy, and then
Everybody's
everybody
vibing in harmony,
right,
and it's
you
fucking.
don't even have to be like messed up on drugs or
Yeah.
alcohol to enjoy it. I
Right,
do have
right.
plenty of sober, like my
Right.
kids, super sober the whole
Right.
time, and
There's
they
a
Maybe
whole
go for
maybe
it.
next time we'll go into the story about how Matt had a premonition of TikTok at a festival, because that's a
do that.
great story.
That is a great
You know what I
story.
mean? It traumatized me a little bit, but
It traumatized me too.
yeah,
I'm-
no doubt. But
Well,
it's a
remember
great
sometimes
story.
traumatizing things do happen at festivals, but
Yeah.
we
You
know
also
what?
need that pain, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
We can
Yeah.
talk about that on the episode that I host, and it's called an ego death, and we'll talk about
Fuck
that
yeah.
next time.
Yes.
Ego death will be
Gonna
my
do
next
that.
topic.
Love
Yeah,
it. That's a
yeah.
good
I've
one.
had a few of those, you know,
Yeah.
and
and
it's
you'll
very
have a few
important.
more.
I will. Yeah.
So who's
absolutely.
hosting the next one? I'm hosting.
You're
next one.
hosting
Yeah,
the
I'll
next
come up
one
with
on
that.
April
So
6th.
episode 5 will be Revron
Ma-
hosting.
Yeah, make sure you guys share in the comments if you can topic ideas, things you want to hear us talk about, things you want to hear us
it'll be-
extrapolate on.
Alive on April 6th.
Okay.
You're doing the next one.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Dr. Ron's medical advice. Take the right prescription. You know, music is medicine.
Yeah.
I love the comments in here, chat. You guys are
Oh
doing
yeah,
amazing.
we need a winner. Can you
Oh yeah,
pick
let's
us
do
a
the winner. We got 3 minutes.
Pick us a winner?
You want me to pick a winner?
Okay, you pick a winner.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it somebody who shares the live, first one who shares the live, or some shit?
Is it the first person that shares live?
Maybe
Okay.
somebody with the most comments in there.
You
Well,
just close
I-
your eyes and scroll.
Sarah.
Well, I think there's quite a few comments from a couple people, but I personally, I would have picked Isabella Merlot or Merlot. I think I might be saying that wrong, because Isabella has been tuned in, has been commenting and leaving
Alright.
really good comments.
Cool. Most
Uh,
engaged.
So Isabella, yeah, she
Does she live
is
in-
she lives in Nanaimo.
Perfect.
She
Cool.
is bartenders at the Queens.
Okay.
And she's just got a great energy about her too. You know what I mean?
She's been
like,
commenting the most.
yeah, she's been commenting a lot. She does
Yay,
marathons.
Isabella.
and
Yeah.
really like has a lot of really good energy too. Everyone kind of vibrates towards her. She's like Sonia from the corner in the Nanaimo bar. You know Sonia?
Yeah.
Like she
Okay.
is that type of energy.
So congratulations, Isabella. on-
Yeah.
So big up to Isabella. Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in, everybody. And Isabella, you've won the prize for this week. We don't actually have it here, but I will bring it back to Nanaimo, and it will be courtesy of our beautiful friend Tatiana. I'll throw in a new Surreal album signed as well for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Thank you, everybody.
thank you for
Beautiful
tuning in.
people.
Thank you.
We-
April 6th. Next one.
April 6th is our next one?
And I think it's at 2:30.
Really?
We'll announce
Well,
it.
yeah,
put
we're
it
going to
out.
do it on a Sunday, so it'll
Okay.
be live.
Is it going to be live?
Yeah, and then I think,
Alright.
well, it could be 1:30, but I just feel like
No, I
we
don't think- I think
struggle.
Sunday
and
Sunday
so I
is
would
fitting
thought,
for the
Struggle.
Reb to host on a Sunday. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So, okay, so good time to go to the dentist, 2:30. 2:30. 2:30.
and we'll have
30,
Reverend Ron,
2:30.
Yeah.
Reverend Ron
That's
sharing,
great.
giving us our sermon on Sunday.
We'll have our
Sunday sermon.
Sunday sermon with Rev Ron. We want to thank you guys for tuning into the Teapot Podcast, or the Power of Three, as we like to collectively call it. I want to really give a big shout out to our host, Tatiana Massa, for coming up with the topic for today and really just being a light that brought all of us together and kind of lighting that fire, you know what I mean? That giving us that anxiety to get this thing popping. And of course, Cody behind the scenes for doing all the magic things that he does as well. So thank you to everybody that tuned in. Our audience,
Angela.
please share this live out.
Ranger.
Angela, of course, Ranger, of course, and Cal.
Yes, and Cal.
And Cal, right?
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you share this out. Comment so we can get that algorithm going. And make sure you are subscribing to the Teapot Podcast on YouTube. We'll leave the link in the comments.
Awesome.
We
Thank
love you guys. Have a good
Bye.
day.